This
Good
conference
evening.
will now be recorded.
Go ahead.
So good evening. This is Bob Jekyll, Short Beach Park Commission Vice Chairman for the town of Stratford. Today is Monday, October 19th, 2020, and we are conducting a virtual meeting of the Short Beach Park Commission via GoToMeeting. During these meetings, you must raise your hand if you wish to speak. When called on to do so, you must state your name and title each and every time you speak. This is in accordance with Governor Lamont's executive order, which allows these meetings to go forward. When I call your name, please indicate that you are in attendance. Kristen Bedell.
Here.
Brandon Jones.
Here.
Christopher Pia, 1st District Councilman. Peter Pulaski.
Present.
And myself, Bob Jekyll, in attendance, obviously. Following town representatives are also in attendance: Chad Esposito, Park Superintendent.
Present.
And Aileen Marsh, Recording Secretary.
Present.
Thus noted, I will now call the meeting to order at 6:33 p.m. So, going to the agenda that I was forwarded, I believe the one thing I can ask Aileen, if you could do me a favor, as people are going to need to raise their hand if they have questions, because I'm not on the meeting, I'm calling in for the audio portion. I'll make sure. I think I have a lag in my connection. Can you make sure we're recognizing the people who have questions?
Well, right now, the only one sharing video is me and Chad. So there's
okay. Okay, perfect. Okay.
On top, you could chat. And because there's really no members of the public, you can kind of interrupt just interrupt what you're really not supposed to do. And I can't mute everybody's iPad. So we're all good.
No problem. Just wanted to make sure we were doing it right. So
yep.
I believe the first point of order on the agenda is to approve the approval of the minutes from our special meeting on September 21st, 2020. Can I have a motion from someone for approval?
Approval, Peter Jones.
So, Eileen, did you hear who I'm sure, was it Peter or Brandon? And then Kristen?
So, I think it was a motion by Peter, second by Kristen.
Any discussion concerning the minutes? Anybody notice any issues or any errors that need to be corrected or amended? Those in favor say aye.
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 Chairman's an aye as well. Any nays?
No.
I believe that passes. And I will hand it over to Chad for his superintendent report.
Oh, I think we just lost Chad.
Uh-oh. I played today and it was fantastic. First time I birdied 6.
Bob, do you want to adjust the agenda since Chad's
I was just
trying to
going to
get
say,
back?
the other one, while he's calling back in, the next section was for new business. Does anybody have, Peter, do you want to add any comments about any new business, any things that you know of that are happening down at the golf course or developments that you want to share?
I'll just share. So I'm in the final stages of setting up employment. Actually, tomorrow I'm going for a physical and a drug test. Background's been done, I suppose. Over the last couple of months, I have spent a lot of time at the golf course, getting to meet people, working in the golf shop, some shifts, and being involved with the Wednesday senior group. Chad and I have had a couple of meetings now with Bob, our superintendent, and talked about the golf course. We have some agronomic improvements going on this week. I'm sure Chad will touch on that. I've reached out to the Connecticut State Golf Association to start working on getting the course recognized. There's an issue with total yardage, which Chad and I and Bob will continue to talk about. And hopefully for 2021, the course will be recognized, and therefore players will be able to establish handicaps. I have worked with the staff on the 4-up system in getting to know it better and use it more appropriately for reporting purposes. Some of the staff members are getting pretty good at it, but we're going to continue to work on that. One of the great things that has happened is we've had an internal campaign to get more emails from customers rather than phone numbers. And when I first started the process, we had probably a little over 100. The last time I was there, our last email blast went to about 230. So people are very receptive to giving us email once we talk about keeping them updated on events at the golf course. The fact that we're hoping to go to online reservations in the future. So it's been well received. So I've worked a couple of the outings, and going forward, we're going to talk about the outing agreements and some of the things that I see and I've shared with Chad regarding the way the outings are constructed. So there's a lot of winter work that's going to be done. We talked a little bit about offering some opportunities in the building to members or players at the course, possibly a rules clinic, maybe some instruction. So we've been talking a lot about keeping players active at the golf course and establishing a community. So my experience so far has been positive. I think many of the folks I know, being a Stratford resident, and others I'm meeting, it seems to be going well. So that's about it for me.
Excellent. If you could just touch a little bit more too on, I know one thing we've been talking about forever is, do we have some signage, whether it's some bulletin boards, or we had talked for a while now of getting a way for you to get information out to the members that do show up, or a way to post information as these development happens? Are we any closer to having some kind of signage that can be a little bit more there for the outings for the members, like if we're going to call them members, that are consistently there to get updated on outing opportunities and leagues and that kind of stuff?
So there's the internal and the external. The internal, there's currently a display board, or it's a retail board that we're hoping to take down and put up a more of an informational cork board, so we can start doing it. And that would be the internal. The external, okay. Chad, I sent Chad a picture of the scoreboard that we had built at Yale for outside the building, which would be used for outing results, a gathering point for information. So that would be the external. The other thing that I'm hoping to do with Chad is build a new sign, where currently there's a sort of a cosmetic putting green in the front of the building. We're hoping to do a nice short beach sign, welcome. So to answer your question, Bob, yes, there's both external and internal information boards that we've been talking about, along with, which I think is very effective so far. People are giving me positive feedback about the marketing blasts. I've done a couple about etiquette, the etiquette of the game, fixing your ball marks. Chad has volunteered to dig up some videos about how to fix a ball mark, things that come from the Superintendent Association. I certainly will do more when it comes to playing golf, and certainly at some point we'll get some instruction out there to send out to people. So yeah, well, there's a bunch of things that we're talking about, and again, I agree with you 100%. Information is great. I'm excited about the fact that I've met a couple of the women's groups that play Monday evenings.
Okay, so if you're talking, you want to unmute yourself so no, because we get a lot of feedback.
I'm not sure what that is. Bob?
All right, Pete, you can go ahead and keep talking. What everybody's going to do is just mute themselves unless they're speaking. So we should all be muted except for you. So go
Okay.
ahead.
I thought that meant I talked too much. So, but anyway, so that's Bob. Hopefully that answers your question. That's all I have, Eileen.
It's Aileen. Okay, so it looks
Aileen,
like
I'm sorry.
Bob, that's okay. Everyone, you're the fifth person tonight who called me Aileen. No, I answered
All
it
right.
worse.
All right.
So
So am I back now? Am I back in?
you're back. Yep,
Okay.
this is Aileen.
Very good. And did I see that? Thank you, Peter, for the information. Thank you. And for your attention to it. I've seen you down there plenty, and I certainly appreciate your efforts. So, Chad, do you want to take it from here with the rest of your superintendent report?
Yep. This is Chad Esposito, Park Superintendent for the town of Stratford. We've had a very busy month down at Short Beach. We've been working on and tying up a bunch of projects. One being the Little League baseball field, field number 2. We were able to remove all.
This great. If you all unmute yourself except for Chad, because that's where you're getting the feedback, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, so we've been working on field 2, and we stripped all the grass, took down some of the topsoil, and made it into a skinned infield. So that project went well. We've been working on the golf course, working on different stuff, getting some aerations and seedings in, some localized areas. We also had, it was a very good month for Short Beach as far as golf rounds and overall. We did $42,838.50 with 3,126 rounds in the month of September. Comparatively, December 2019, it was $30,519.50 and only about 2,261 rounds. So 865 more rounds plus, about 12,000 on the total. It was a very, very busy month. And, with Pete's help and with trying to get the T sheet organized and having people, Pete's grand plan of having people check in, we're really going to start to see the numbers that are, making tee times not showing up, making tee times showing up. So we really have a bunch of tools in the 4UP system that I'm excited to start venturing into. Obviously it's the end of the season now, but we're really going to take the off season to kind of go through and see how we could update, improve, and really make Short Beach special for next season. I caught the end of it. Sorry, my internet shut off for some reason. I was catching Pete's his end of his report, and yes, we are looking to do scoreboards and signage and continuing getting to information to people as far as doing videos and superintendent videos and how to fix a ball mark and how to repair your tees, or we want to do a whole bunch of informational stuff just to get it out there because, a lot of our clientele plays golf and a lot of our clientele is not familiar with a golf course at all. So we really need to cater to both sides and really get that instilled in all of our clientele. Just briefly, we met with the male individual. that we talked about. He, back and forth, and he probably is going to be coming back to play on November 1st. So we're have careful eye with all the staff just to kind of make sure that we're moving forward. We're beyond the incident and we're moving forward. Um, I don't really, the irrigation system, we finally got everything wrapped up as far as like the GPS mapping. So we have like very nice GPS, like where all the main lines are, where all the heads are, where all the laterals are, where the shutoffs are. So we have all that stuff now. And, one of the things that Pete and I were talking about yesterday or this morning, every day seems the same. We're going to start to build on this map and start looking at the overall property on where we can improve it, how we can improve it, where the unusable spaces are, where usable spaces to grow, to change, to update. So we have a lot going on, and it's very exciting towards the end of the season to be just this busy. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything.
I just have a quick question, Chad. Those are great numbers for the golf course, and it's good to hear it. And it's been busy plenty of times when I've gone there. So,
Excuse me. You need to identify.
Bob Jekyll. Yeah, Bob Jekyll, Vice Chairperson of the Short Beach Commission. It's great to hear those numbers, and I just want to let you know I did receive, Chad, 30 of our tee markers, and they came out fantastic. So I'll send a picture to everybody. The Be Kind tee markers are so much better than I ever could have thought of when we started this campaign. And the fact that we're going to be the only golf course, I joke about it and say in the universe because we're the only one. It's really something special for us. I hope we get to, share it with people how, we do have this unique feature and what we're doing to try to make our park, even more fantastic for the community. But my question for you, Chad, is should I just drop them off to you some morning this week so you could take a look at them and see how best to get the spikes on them?
This is Chad Esposito, Park Superintendent. Yes, Bob, please drop them off so we could, evaluate them, get some spikes in them, and then see. Sure. Yes.
Okay, very good. Are you what time is best for you in the morning? I'm up pretty early, and I know you get in pretty early too. If I stop by between like 8 and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, will someone be there, or should I just drop them in your area, or where they're in 6 bins? They're in plastic containers. So there's 5 of them, I believe.
Chad Esposito, Park Superintendent. I'm in at 7, so anytime from 6:45 on, I'm there.
Okay, very good. Bob Jekyll again, Vice Chairman. I'll drop them off tomorrow morning, first thing. Looking forward to showing you.
I'm Brandon Jones, Commission member. Real quick question. Have we thought about any sort of marketing opportunities as we start to put these out? I know this is a huge campaign in terms of like just an overall Be Kind campaign. And because we are the only golf course, are there opportunities, or have we begun to think about ways that we can start to promote Short Beach Golf Course through the implementation of this?
This is Bob Jekyll, Vice Chairman. I'll take that one. We've been talking with, Chad all along, and we were supposed to have a rollout this summer, and COVID, as with plenty of other things, kind of shifted our timeline. So our main point was to get delivery of our tee markers, during the fall, maybe roll them out very softly to have it. We already have the bench down there by the clubhouse. Stop by if you haven't seen it. So we were going to have kind of a spring formal rollout where it is going to be a whole campaign across the park, not just on the golf course, but also with regards to the mural that's going over at the concession stand. We have secured sponsors throughout the community, and it really is going to be a fantastic addition to our Short Beach. So I am sure we will be coordinating with Chad and Peter on how best to utilize, our Facebook page. For those of you that haven't followed it, for the Friends of Short Beach, I think we're over 5,600 followers now. So certainly, we'd like to cross promote the whole park and are going to make a big deal about having this Be Kind initiative. And Ben's Bells Project is very excited to be doing it with us as well. Stratford has been a very supportive community for Ben's Bells, and this is, I think, the first time they've worked with something that's a municipal, a park situation with it. So they've been very helpful and very engaging to help us market it. So we're looking forward to rolling it out. So more details are coming.
Peter Pulaski, Short Beach Commission. Bob, I was wondering, as far as the Be Kind logo, is that something we could use? I'm thinking it as part of our 2021 staff uniform. Could we put that logo on a shirt as part of the program?
Bob Jekyll, I believe we should be able to. Let me check with my contact just to make sure. And I am sure one of the things we have talked about is whether or not, if we promote it as supporters of the mission of the Ben's Bells Project, that alleviates a lot of, let's say, trademark or considerations that we're trying to make money on off of their efforts. So we've had discussions about that to make sure we're not stepping on their situation, but they are very supportive of what we've been trying to do to get their message out in the community. So I'll get back to you, but I am sure there's a way for us to do that and be able to utilize that clover and the Be Kind symbol as part of our support for their mission in the community. So I'll let you know about that. Absolutely.
This is Chad Esposito, Park Superintendent. Bob, and Brendan, it's very exciting and the initiative is amazing. But with the T markers, we're obviously not going to put the T markers out this season. We'd like to do a finished product where we have T signs, T markers, and we're kind of in either the close to finishing stages or the finishing detailed stage, so that it's very, the presentation is there, the marketing is there, the recognition is there. Bob, if you could ask if it could be part of the scorecard, anything that, brings notoriety to it so that we could have, a Be Kind initiative on every tee box. It's very good.
Yeah. So all great suggestions. It's Bob Jacob. Those are all great suggestions, Chad. And I assume over the winter we'll be able to set up some time where we can all meet and you guys can meet Cody and Jane, who's the artist. But Cody Foss is the director of our Connecticut branch of Ben's Bells. And he's been very accommodating, and I'm sure he'd like to talk to you guys about that marketing. And they've been very receptive. But looking forward to working with you over the winter. And I agree, we shouldn't do a partial kind of, presentation. It should be a big, fantastic rollout of this initiative. So, yeah, I agree. I think we're all on the same page. So does anyone have any other questions for Chad or Peter regarding the golf course? I believe the next part of the agenda is any new business. Does anyone have any new business to share?
This is Chad Esposito, Park Superintendent. With new business, Pete and I have really been looking at all different facets of the operation down there. And we definitely want to compile, a list of objectives or a list of future projects or a list of improvements that we can do, obviously in the off season for next season. Some of them involve the building, some of them involve every aspect of that golf course as, with Pete's expertise and knowledge, everything is kind of getting reviewed. So we don't have anything to report just yet, but we'd love to, compile everything so that in this off season we can make the recommendations or changes and really have the Short Beach Commission stand behind, the initiative and the effort to make it the best we possibly can. So nothing specific yet, but it's coming.
This is Bob Jacob, Park Commissioner, Vice Chairman. I just wanted to add, if you guys haven't seen it, we do have the Gaga pits have been done, so that was new business, and it's now done. Scout Alex Rice completed them this past weekend. They are fantastic. There's 2 of them. They are 20 feet wide. They are pressure treated, and Chad, we were going to defer to your opinion eventually. It's pressure treated, so we were advised to let it season through the winter, and come the spring, we would see whether or not sealing them is something that's of consideration, or based on where they are and they're pressure treated, they should be fine. So that will be something that we'll come get your opinion on. And also, while you were just saying with the projects, we did happen to have another Eagle Scout recently contact me and ask if we have a project that they could do. So whether it's one of the signs you guys are building, if you have something like that, please let me know, because we do have at least one scout that is looking to do work for us down at the beach to satisfy their Eagle Scout requirement. And you know, I think there are some projects like that could work. So please keep me updated, and I'll be glad to pass them along and see if I can help coordinate.
Peter Pulaski, Short Beach Commission. One of the things for everybody, I think would be important is from the commission to try to get an update on the building and sort of what is the plan if with everything going on, there is not a leaseor for the building. Is there an alternative plan? And perhaps the commission could forward a recommendation should that be the case. I think it's vitally important that the building is open at some capacity for the 2021 season.
Bob Jekyll, Vice Chairman. Chad, could you comment on whether or not what the current status of it is? Is it just in a holding pattern, or are there any designs on what they would like that? Because I agree with Peter, that building should absolutely be used in some capacity next year, as long as the guidelines allow for it, health-wise. But do you have any insight into where that is currently?
Chad Esposito, Park Superintendent. Now, I don't really have any information to report. That would be a really good question for either, the mayor or Chris Timiak or somebody in the upper echelon,
Okay. Bob Jekyll, I'll speak to the chairman of the commission to put in a formal request with both Mr. Timiak and the mayor's office for an update.
Excuse me, Bob.
So, yeah.
This is Aileen Marsh, recording secretary. For some reason, this meeting is limited to 40 minutes. So you have about 4 minutes to go, and then it's going to end.
Okay, very good. Does anybody have any additional new business, or the next topic is members' comments or concerns? Does anyone have anything they'd like to add before we start our 4.5 or 3.5 minute counter? I think I am good, Aileen. At this point, do we just need a motion to adjourn?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Anyone like to put in a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Peter Pulaski.
Seconded.
Kristen Bedell.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Chairman says aye. Any noes? Meeting is adjourned at 7 o'clock. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Have
Bob.
a good night.
And well done,
Thanks.
everyone.